Welcome back to the Pioneer Sideline. I'm your host, Aaron Cooney, and as I teased before the break, we're going to talk a little baseball. It's getting nice out. The weather's nice. The grass on the field. It's time to play some ball. And for the Pioneers, already got a nice trip into Tennessee just this past weekend, and ready to roll here early on. And last year had a very good season, ranked 23 in the nation. They were first team out for an invitation at the at-large bid in the national tournament for the NAIA, going 38-13. Won the AMC regular season, couldn't finish it up. They lost to Notre Dame in that final tournament game. But you're bringing in a lot of couple returners. That pitching staff is back. Everything's looking good for the Pioneers, and already 4-1 on the season. We're going to bring in Chris Hoffman, will be our commentator here, our analyst for baseball on this season. So, Chris, taking a look at what they did last year, and a lot of those parts will be missing, and a lot of players lost going into this season.
Yeah, the Pioneers had some very key losses. They lost Zach O'Neill, a junior designated hitter. He was an all-AMC player. They lost a few more AMC players too. When you lose all AMC talents, you're definitely going to be hit. They also lost Dave Angle, who was 6'1" senior catcher, three-time all-AMC player. He batted .324 for them last year with 7 home runs and 46 RBIs. So you're losing a lot of power and a lot of runs right there. They also lost Brian Grease, 6-foot senior outfielder. He was another all-AMC player who batted .320 with 31 RBIs. AMC Gold Glove player too, so you're losing some fielders there in addition to some speed. He was 27 of 33 of stolen bases. Kyle Lokett, 5'9" senior outfielder. He was another all-AMC player, .335 average, 29 of 32 for stolen bases. Another AMC Gold Glove player. When you're losing defensive players as well as offense, that's definitely going to show on the scoreboard with this Pioneer team.
Yeah, and that's a lot lost. And you talked about, Ango, O'Neill, Grice, Lucott fight. I mean, you met 2 AMC Gold Glovers. You lost your 1 and 2 hit, your 1, 2, and 4 hitters on the Pioneers team. But so the returning players, they're able to make it up, and they, a lot of talent coming in. And really, it starts with those position players that are still around in some of that senior leadership.
Most definitely, and the Pioneers do have some returning players coming back. They have 2-time All-AMC player Lee Bodner coming back. He batted .351 for the Pioneers last season with 11 doubles, 6 home runs, 52 RBIs, so he's a very productive player. The Pioneers are going to be glad to have back. Derek Peluso, a 6'2" senior right-handed pitcher. He's another All-AMC player. He was 7-1 last year with a .341 ERA and 60 innings pitched, and he had 10 games started. They also returned Ryan Lautzenheiser, 6'4" junior right-hand pitcher, another all-AMC player, 7-3 last season with a .334 ERA, 59 innings pitched and 10 games started. So when you have lots of pitchers returning, as well as Sean Clark, who was 7-2 last year, 3.72 ERA, they have all AMC players returning. Lots of pitchers coming back, and with a starting rotation where lots of your pitchers are back, that's really good to see, including Mike Tullio, who came out of the pen last year with 6-0, .98 ERA and 3 saves. When you have a solid pitching staff that has plenty of experience, you can expect this Pioneer pitching staff to do very well this season.
And how's that? You bring back that starting pitching staff. You got 3 of the 4 starters back. You mentioned Mike Tullio. How does that take a little bit of pressure off maybe some of these fielders when they got to replace 6 positions out in the field?
When there's 6 positions to fill out on the field, there's definitely going to be pressure that you have to make the play. But when you know your pitcher on the mound is going to give you quality innings, quality starts, and you know he has the experience to not be roughed up after a couple innings, there's definitely some confidence in the fielders to know, you know what, he might strike him out. He might get him to make an easy out, easy pop-up. So the fielders aren't going to feel the pressure as if you had a freshman pitcher who has had no college experience starting the game, and all the pressure's on him to make a great outing.
Let's got some top newcomers coming in. A lot of good products coming in out of Florida. And manager Lauren Torres is doing a great job coming out from Florida and bringing a lot of talent with him. And that's shown here in his 3rd year. And take a look. We'll bring up the top newcomers coming in for the Pioneers. And Chris, a lot of talent. And starting right off the bat with Javier Marta-Corena.
Yeah, he's a Florida 6A Player of the Year last year in American High School in Miami, Florida. So Florida's starting to become like a pipeline recruiting state for the Pioneer baseball team. They also brought Ozzy Alfonso, who was an all-day Florida County player from Haile, Florida, former player at Miami-Dade Community College. They also brought up Manny Perdomo, transferred from St. Thomas University, who started in the NAIA opening round last year. He's a sophomore right-handed pitcher, so more pitching to definitely help the pitchers that the Pioneers already have. They also have transfer Tom Roth, who comes from was an NJCAA all-regional player at England Community College in Illinois. Very productive player, batted .371 last season, had 35 RBIs and 48 runs. So he's able to fill some of the voids left by the seniors who graduated last year.
Now, how hard is it going into a decision? You have a lot of guys coming up as well that have paid their dues, sitting on the bench for a couple years, and now you bring in these freshmen. Coach Lauren Torres has a couple hard decisions to make, and how do you think that's going to play out and how some of these newcomers might fight for some positioning?
That's actually going to benefit this Pioneer team very well because lots of players are going to be on this team being starting roles and contributing to this ball team in any possible way. So this is a good problem to have for the Pioneers because they have a lot of talent, all competing against each other to try to earn the top spots. Yes, there's some players who have definitely earned their spots, but they have freshmen competing with them as well as other transfers. That's going to up their talent, which is going to help this whole team as a whole because you're going to have lots of players that have talent all competing for same spots, which is just going to be a great benefit for this whole Pioneer baseball team.
Now let's take a look at the AMC. As everybody's leaving the AMC, basically the whole exodus, we talked about it throughout volleyball, basketball, and now it's hit baseball too. There's only 3 teams in the AMC, including the Point Park, Houghton in their first year, and also Fisher. And then you go into an unaffiliated conference playoff to see who gets that free berth to the NAIA National Tournament. And Chris, you know, it kind of looks maybe a easier road for the Pioneers to go down and maybe see themselves back in that World Series, NAIA World Series tournament.
Yeah, I see the Pioneers having great success this season. Houghton and Fisher not really known for being baseball schools. That could be possibly 8 easy wins for the Pioneers. That's great. They'll have an undefeated conference, should easily win the AMC. Then they'll go against the unaffiliated conferences. They could potentially win that. They've already defeated the number 17 team in the country, so they definitely have the talent this year to compete. Can definitely, in my eyes, make it to the NAIA World Series and definitely compete for the national title.
Now, we said they got off to a hot start, Chris, and already took that trip down to Tennessee just this past week. As we bring that up, took on Martin Methodist, Cumberland, the 7th-ranked team in the nation, also Campbellsville. Swept Martin Methodist, went 1-1 against Cumberland, a tough team. They got a 3-2 victory on Game 1, and they got no hit by Chipper Smith and a 5-0 loss in Game 2 there, but then took care of business at Campbellsville, also previously unbeaten. And then, you know, it doesn't stop there. They got to play West Virginia Tech Tuesday before they take off on Thursday for the Russ Matt Central Florida Invitational. They'll play 10 games there against 6 different schools: St. Xavier, Lourdes, Columnist St. Joe's, Olivia Nazarene, Madonna, and also Trinity Christian. And Chris, I want to ask you, they went out and just challenged themselves right off the bat. And they were ranked 26th in the nation in that first poll back on November 15th in the preseason poll for baseball, receiving votes. How good is that for the Pioneers to go out, challenge themselves early and often before they get into AMC play?
I think it's a great idea for them to go out, play some of the best teams in the country, and challenge themselves early. Because then you're going to see how good is this team really. Right now they're about 26th in the country after they defeated the number 7 team in the country and defeated an previously undefeated Campbellsville. They should definitely be ranked this week. So this is just going to help the talent develop, get the players to become more confident and realize, hey, we can compete with these top 10, top 5 teams and not wimp out. They'll definitely have confidence, and when there's confidence, you can definitely utilize talent to the best of its abilities.
Chris, great stuff early on. We'll see how the baseball team fares as they take off for that Florida trip just coming up Thursday, and we're going to take a quick break here. Going to step right in and talk about the men's basketball team. Yes, they had a playoff game too this past Tuesday. We'll show you how they fared and take another look here at the women's basketball team. Stick around.